Hello, James. Thank you so
Hey,
much for your time today. How are
no
you
worries. How you doing?
doing?
Oh,
I'm
I'm
doing
all
good.
good.
Thank you for asking.
Nice one. Very cool. I'm sorry I can't be there with you. I'd rather be there with you.
Oh, no, that's fine. What time is it over there?
It's nearly 11 a.m. What about where you are?
Wow. It's about 6 in the evening right now, so that's not too far away. That's all right. I know you're a busy man, so let's get into it. My very first
Yeah.
question for you is, of course, about your latest single, Chew on My Heart. I have to say, it's incredibly raw. It's very, very real.
Thank you.
What kind of experience are you trying to describe with this song?
I'm trying to. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm trying to describe almost a sort of a feeling of kind of being addicted to a person and just being
Yeah.
desperate to have them. The "chill on my heart" phrase kind of expresses the physicality and the deep desire to really sort of be with somebody. I spend my life traveling, often, but my girlfriend who I live with, she can't always come away with me. So I can be gone for a long time. I can finally get home and be really tired coming through the door, but I still am just desperate to throw my arms around her and have her
Oh,
be kind of selfish and have her all to myself. So it's about all of that.
that's amazing. I'm so lucky. You are so lucky to have found someone that, you have such a strong connection to, because not everyone does in their lifetime. And
Yeah.
you've done it. You found it. So I'm guessing that she was the inspiration behind this entire
Yeah,
song.
really, yeah, basically, yeah, definitely.
And you
that
guys have
kind
been
of stuff.
together for how long now?
13 years we've been together.
That's incredible.
As kids, and she's, the relationship, but Lucy herself as well, so important, so important to my life has been sort of ups and downs for the last for a long time. So yeah, it's been so vital to have that person who you can just trust no matter what.
I can see the way that you talk about her, and I think it really comes off in your music as well. It's just so sweet. And, over the last few months, you have also been up to a couple of different things on your Instagram Live, something called live lessons, right?
Yes, yeah.
What exactly is live lessons? Tell us more about that.
So I wasn't like a big social media user before lockdown really began. I used it a bit. I definitely sort of put stuff up there around releases and stuff, but I didn't get into kind of Instagram stories that much. But lockdown started, and I've got all these fans, I've got these followers, and all these people that I want to be in venues with, connecting with, and we couldn't do that. So I kind of recognised that Instagram Live is a good way to connect with all these people around the world. And when I was like 18, I used to teach guitar. I was a guitar teacher for like a year. So I kind of combined these two things.
Okay.
And thought, here's a way that I can kind of keep it light, but spend some time with everybody.
Yeah.
And keep the social part of social distancing alive. So yeah, I've just been kind of going through my songs week by week, showing people how I playing the songs for people, and then showing them how I play the songs on guitar, show them what I'm doing. I've thrown a few covers in as well, which has been fun to do, and it's just meant that we can kind of hang out and be together in a way that I'd like to. Yeah.
It's kind of like a free masterclass from the man
Yeah,
himself. I think it's really incredible that you managed to do that, and I hope that you can continue to do that to connect with your fans all over the world. Yeah. So like you said, you haven't been able to really head out on the road, on tour. What's something that you miss most about being on the road?
Quite literally being on the road, traveling from place to place. It's kind of the fun of it. Like people say to me all the time, what's it like in Montreal? What's it like in Jakarta? What's it like in Sydney? And I never really know, because we don't spend that much time in each place. But that's okay. I kind of miss how fast we move through places. We play a show, we arrive in town, we play a show, we get out of town. I'd like to see more of these places, I confess, I would like to, but when you're at work and you're doing your job, it's kind of, I enjoy my job, so I like to do that, and I'd like to come back, maybe on vacation to a lot of these places and really explore. But I just miss the travel. I just miss traveling. I like traveling, but I love it when I've got a guitar and I'm coming in to play a song or play songs for people, and then move to the next place and play songs for those people. So I really miss all the things about being on the road. Quite literally, the act of being on the road is what I miss about being on the road.
Sounds like you've been really busy the last couple of years. If I were to ask you how many cities you visited in the world? Like, would you even have a ballpark number if I would ask you that?
So I could probably come up with a ballpark number, but it might be miles off.
Yeah.
I don't know, 20.
Wow, that's
because I go
mm-hmm.
back to lots of places, and then I gradually add new places. It might be 30. That's quite a difference. Those two numbers.
I feel like that's a bit low. I feel like you've been to at least 50 cities.
Sure, maybe I have.
For
So I can give you a guess, but I'm usually miles away.
So how do you think your sound has really grown since, your very first debut studio album back in 2015 till now? It's been 5 years.
Yeah, it's strange that amount of time, but in many ways it feels like a long time because I did so much in that time. But in other ways it's only 5 years. It's sort of half a decade. It doesn't feel like that much time. And yet, I feel like I've really embraced and enjoyed evolving my sound. I like lots of different music, of different music. I get really inspired when I've been playing one kind of music, when I've been writing and recording and playing one kind of music. I've really overworked it in my mind and in my ears. So I get really drawn to something very different. Like I made my first album, and my whole first album, the experience was about, musically for me, was inspired by classic songwriters like Carole King and Bruce Springsteen and like the Rolling Stones and like all these older, Bob Dylan, people like that, like older folks. It was inspired by so much. It was inspired by like Kings of Leon and Adele and like, more recent people like that as well. But as I left that period of that first album, and I'd listened to all of that music so much, and I'd been playing music like that, I started to listen to people like Frank Ocean and David Bowie and Prince, and like people that it didn't sound like my first album. I enjoyed doing that. And what's interesting about going into my third album is I've had so much of what I did in the first, so much of what I did in the second. I still love all that music though, so I've gone back to all of it. And I've been discovering new stuff on the way, and it's all kind of amalgamated and combined itself into what this. I've refined it all down.
Yeah.
It's not like a giant list of influences, but I don't know. Maybe in some ways it is, but I've been able to I've soaked all of that stuff up over like 5 or more years, and for the first time, I've really been able to kind of wring myself out of it and just sort of stand up after that, and the influences, it's all been refined, and I've been able to sort of really kind of nicely apply all that musical kind of love and knowledge into this music.
Wow. Well, they always say third time's the charm. I think this album's going to be amazing, considering, all of the knowledge, all of the genres you explored over the years. I have to ask, is album production complete yet?
Production is it's nearly complete. There's when you get to production, there's mixing as well, which is just deciding all the different volumes of what you want to be sort of louder and quieter. We're still in that place, to be honest.
Okay.
Which means that we don't have a date for the album yet, but the plan is absolutely to put it out in 2020.
Wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting 2020. I was expecting 2021. So that's a pleasant surprise for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping 2020. That's the plan.
Let's do it. Well, let's manifest it. It will happen. And you say that, you taught yourself how to play the guitar growing up. You were even a guitar instructor at once. Do you think this was something that maybe you were naturally gifted at? Good
question. I guess a little bit, but I think there's only a little bit though. There's hard work. There is hard work involved. There's been many obstacles that I've had to get over on my journey playing guitar, learning to play guitar, learning to play different kinds of guitar. So there's a little bit of natural ability that I think lots of guitar players or musicians might have in the beginning, and that's helpful. But it's not like the whole. It's not the whole answer. You have to put the work in. You have to put the time and the hours in, so that things become muscle memory, so that things become second nature, because that's when a guitar player is really great. And I'm still on that journey. I hope I'm always be on that, But yeah, maybe a little bit of natural, maybe.
So when you were young and you were, teaching yourself the guitar, did you ever think that one day you would be playing with your idols on stage? Like, for example, at Crossroads Fest, I know a lot of people talk about that because he's literally your idol. It's Eric Clapton. Who wouldn't want that experience, right?
Yeah, right. Tell me about it. It was crazy. It's still, that was nearly a year ago, nearly a year ago. It was 11 months ago, and it's still hard to sort of put the experience into words, because it just the best way to sum up that experience, from my perspective, is just a beaming smile. Like I never thought that kind of thing would happen, and I'm so grateful that it could and that it did, and I'll never ever forget it. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to sort of describe it. It was just a glorious experience.
That's amazing. And let's say, you know, if someone's listening right now and they were you when you were young, and they were like, oh, you know, what's going to happen? Like, if I master this skill, am I going to get anywhere? Am I really even going to achieve my goals? What would you want to tell them?
Before you worry about any of those things, make sure you do love it and you enjoy it, because you shouldn't start anything because you want to sort of receive something from the act of doing it. You should just love it. You know, my reality as a kid was kind of, oh my God, I love playing guitar so much that I just hope I never have to kind of, as they say, get a real job. Not to belittle anybody's work, but the
traditional job, right?
Yeah. Traditional job. I always thought to myself, I love this so much that I have to find a way to make it my real job, because I love it so much. So I think that's the first thing you have to recognise and make sure of, is that you love it. Because if you don't, that's okay, but don't go chasing something if you don't adore it.
All right, words to live by. And I know you've been busy the last couple of months learning some new skills. Maybe are there some activities that you've been working on over the last couple of months?
To be honest, my main thing is, like, for the first time in my life, I've kind of been like working out. Like,
working out?
I've been like, I don't go. I'm not like a gym person. I don't rush to the gym. It's not really my thing. But I've been doing it at home in lockdown a lot.
What do you do at home?
It's just HIIT sessions and like cardio.
Really?
Stuff just because it helps my brain.
Yeah.
It helps me feel better mentally. All of the endorphins that get released and everything, I just feel more alive and I feel less kind of grey. So I've really been enjoying that. I don't know if I'm skilled at it, but I've been enjoying it.
I don't think there's a right way, to work out. And sometimes I guess, we put that pressure on ourselves to look a certain way, but it's really all about, like you said, about how it makes you feel and your health and all that.
Yeah, obviously it makes me feel healthy, but it makes me feel mentally healthy, which is just so important. So I've been really enjoying that.
What would you like to say to our fans in Singapore who are listening to 987 now?
To all my fans in Singapore, I miss you. I miss you so much. I'm sorry that I can't be there, and I really would like to come over as soon as I can to play songs, to hang out. I look forward to a world where we can do all of that stuff, where we can do that all over the world again. Until then, I'm going to send you loads more new music, and I hope you'll enjoy it until I can come back and be with you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, James, for your time today. I hope, wish you all the best with your workout journey. Who knows? You might even level up to something else. Yes. And we cannot wait for the new album. All right. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Lovely to see you. Thank you, Jermaine.